I like that. Let's shout.
Let's shout.
Hello and welcome to JabberJaw. I'm your host, Jessica Dawson Collier, and with me as always is Tyson Wheeler Dinas and Matthew David Smith. Guys, welcome.
Hi.
Call me
Tyce
Chopper.
is on neighborhood watch of his own wife right now.
Yes.
Oh,
He's calling in anonymous tips to the KC
yeah,
police.
I'm literally rear view mirror in the movie, except that it's the front mirror. I don't know. Anyway, yeah.
There's no your bases, dude. It makes sense. I get it. I get it.
I don't know. They say
Call
that.
it in. If you don't know, you see something, say something. I think that's what
That
they
is
say.
true. That is true.
Yeah.
Hello, 911. I think my wife is opening the garage door too many times. What do you think?
Did you say your wife, sir?
Yeah. I mean, I've only known her for 15 years, so I don't know exactly what happened before that time. But anyway.
Could you possibly just ask your wife?
Oh no. We need a licensed therapist for us to ask questions.
All right, we've got someone on the way. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Earning that paycheck, 911. Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah. I've never. Have you guys ever called 911? Just out of curiosity, you guys ever called it?
Once.
You have.
I witnessed an accident while I was walking in Austin our first year there. It was actually pretty bad. It was a pretty bad fender bender. And then the cop was getting, the details from me. And then he was like, "Can I look at your license?" And I was like, "Why?" Because I hadn't gotten my Austin license yet. And he's like,
"Oh, right.
New York, huh?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "You need to get your license updated." I'm like, "Yep, but I'm not driving. I literally I'm walking, sir." And he was just like, it was awkward. It was an awkward situation.
Never underestimate a cop's ability to just give you shit when you're trying to do the right thing.
I
love that. I love that.
Dude,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Never calling you again.
Do you have any,
exactly right.
Do you have any idea how fast you were walking, young lady?
I was clocking you at 2 miles per hour. It's pretty fast.
Matt, have you called 911? I haven't that I can think
I
of.
I don't believe so. No, because I was always like that was old. That was always like sort of the ultimate prank phone call, right? Like the one that you were terrified to make because back in the day, like before they had the ANI and all, like where they knew your address and everything. Like you could just call 911 and kind of fuck with them if you wanted to, and that was so
totally.
but I never did that. I'm gonna say we never did that.
I never did either. I saved it for KJLS.
To be fair, that was our 911 back in the day.
That's true. They probably, they probably were more in the know than whoever. Like I don't even know where does the Hayes 911? Where does that go to? What like Chamber of Commerce? I don't know where that goes. Where
That's a great question.
Great question. Yeah. I would be curious to find out.
One that we could so easily answer, and so ironically, but no, not today.
You just call 911 and Hayes, and they put you through the library, and they're like, "What's your name again?" And you're like, Tyson Dinas, and they're like, "Oh, you have an REM book that you checked out in 2001, and we would like that back." And I'm gonna be like, "But there's a guy getting stabbed right now," and they're like, "No, yeah, but that book was $28." So
yeah, time's a ticking. Yeah.
I don't. As far as I know, I've never called 911. I cannot remember a time when I ever did that. I do feel like 911 was called on me at least once, maybe
possibly, potentially.
But yes. I would never know that. So
was this when you guys had that party that got busted by the SWAT team?
I feel like that was probably it. Yeah, I feel like that was probably the one. Yeah.
God damn it, Dawson! I was hoping that wasn't it. There was something else that probably
when Smith says, "God damn it, Dawson," my heart grows 3 sizes every time. It's one of my favorite things.
I do. Well, you know what? I can think of. I actually can think of another time that probably it wasn't a 911 call, but it definitely was a call to the cops, which was there used to be this epicenter of people that we all worked for in taco shop, and because I think we're all except Matt. I don't think you worked there actually, because you.
Yeah,
I did
Smith,
not.
you never worked
I
there. Yeah.
dined there. I was there a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah.
Yes.
I was there when they crossed that
I was,
bridge. I was
was
there.
the, I was at
But
the I was at the other end of the economic. Yeah, yeah, but yeah,
but
still,
I
I was there.
I do remember two times where the police came and broke up an outdoor show. One was it was an outdoor show we were playing with Truck Stop Love, if anyone remembers that band. Um,
I do remember Truck
and
Stop Love. Yes.
Sounds familiar.
we invited them to open for us at and we played on the steps of McMinus Hall, I guess, if I remember correctly, on Fort Hays State.
Oh,
And the cops showed up and they're like, "We're getting a lot of noise complaints," and the people and the people from the university are like, "Yeah, but this is a function event, so whatever."
Yeah,
So
right. It's a university. Like I didn't
yeah,
realize you
no
could
shit.
call a noise complaint on a university. Like
well,
keep that game down, fellas.
exactly on on a still summer night, you can just it can waft off to the music can waft up. So, but the second time that I remember happening is there was a place called 424 West Fifth Street, which a gentleman named J Man owned, and he was one of the managers uh, at uh, taco shop, and we decided to play outside on his back porch,
That
and
Hmm.
sounds
we
about right.
and we got halfway through a song before the sirens and the cops showed up. Woo! And
That sucks.
they're like, take it inside. We're like, okay, it's fine. Um, but I think those are the only three times the cops have ever been called on me. I hope anyway. I have no idea, but I have never actually called 911. I don't know what I would say. Um, all the
I was nervous. I
I'm
didn't
sure
know
you.
what to say either. I was just like, I just witnessed an accident. And then they took me through a lineage of questions. And that cop was there in like 5 minutes. And
Well,
then,
that's
of
awesome.
course, he was a dick. So I
Well,
was just like, can I
Yeah,
go back
yeah.
to talking to the lady on the phone? She was nice,
yeah.
better at her job.
I mean, if you listen to like if you watch any of the cop shows on TV or whatever, the KCPD has its own fucking channel, which is
No
really,
way.
yeah,
I was just
Really?
gonna ask if they still have cops shows, like the show Cops,
they
if that's
do.
still a thing.
That
Okay.
is still a thing. Oddly enough,
Wow.
one day I was working at a call center in Hayes, Kansas, that worked on DirecTV, and I talked to the man who created that show. We had a very interesting conversation. I got in trouble because I talked to him for I don't know 45, 50 minutes. I got in a lot of trouble. Anyway, but
Did you
anyway,
fix his problem? I mean, that's
I
what.
did. I fixed his
Oh, okay. Well,
problem.
there. Well, then I
Oh,
I,
well,
think you get to
whatever.
talk to that dude for a
his
while.
Yeah.
his problem was he needed a serviceman to come out and fix it. So that
Oh.
was how I fixed it. It's just not really correct, but yeah, he had a home theater and he was like, I just can't quit. Anyway, but like I I don't know like whenever you hear that stuff like oh sorry back to the point there is a Kansas City Police Department show that is just follow people cops in Kansas City. And
Okay.
Wow. I gotta check this out.
it does not make Kansas City look super great to live at. You know, it's the bottom line. It's just,
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
it is anti propaganda or tourism. I guess it's not good. But anyway, you can find it, and I've watched it, and it's like those are my neighbors. Yeah, I get it. Whatever. So yeah, they
Yeah.
still do that shit. Yeah. Anyway, go on. Go on.
Oh, I'll
Uh,
check that shit
The
out.
conductor of the show. Yeah.
go, go.
Go on.
go on.
Oh, we're just
Go on.
dying out here on the vine, Dawson. Give us some life. Bring some life.
We're
Uh,
dying. Uh,
conversation.
Oh wait.
what's been
I
happening?
actually
Oh,
have a
there it
question.
is.
I have a
All right.
question. Sorry. Did you call 911 in Hayes or in New York?
No, this was in Austin.
It was.
This was
Oh
right
yeah, that's right. You
after.
said you were.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We had been there. I mean, I was thinking like about a year, but it had to have been over a year because you're supposed to get your license from whatever city you
Oh,
moved to
yeah.
within the year,
Yeah.
and that's why I got my
Yeah. That's why
ass
that
ripped.
cop was
So,
giving you shit, man.
for walking,
Still,
you know,
I guess, yeah, and doing the right
and
thing.
doing the right thing,
And doing the right
trying to
thing,
help
and
my
that'll, all right. I think
fellow
this,
people
yeah,
out.
yeah.
That
Yeah,
could have been some of that fucking I'm fourth generation Texan bullshit that people have, in Texas. So that
it
cop,
was weird. I got a thing with Austin PD anyway. Like, Jonas went through police academy, and I got some stories there.
yeah,
Very happy my husband is not a police officer. That
I
would have been
believe
really
No.
bad.
he needs to write that down because we need Police Academy 8. We've been waiting a long time for it. So that would be great.
Is that where we're at? Is 8? Is
Yeah,
that
there's 7 of them as far as I
holy shit? Now,
know.
were there
Yeah.
did they do like a bunch of them in like the early 2000s? Like we just missed out on?
The last one I saw in the theater was I think 5, and it was Miami. Or it was
No shit.
yeah, and they were
Wow.
like it
Wow.
was Police Academy goes to Miami Beach, and it was
Oh dear Lord.
it was
That's
Yeah,
funny.
that sounds like I mean that just sounds like the end, right? Like that like when
it
they go
should
to
be the end.
Miami Beach, right? Like that's the end of the saga. But there were apparently a couple more,
Yeah,
which was
Wow, there's a
wow.
lot. There's Mission to Moscow.
yeah, that's
That's
one.
funny.
Oh,
Yeah,
I do.
I
Okay.
did not see that in the theater, but I don't know.
Wow. I thought there were 3. In my head, I was like, they did 3, and
I
that was
thought there
it.
were 5. 4 was kind of the number of
Yeah.
police academies that
I will be honest.
Citizens on Patrol.
Citizens on
On
Patrol.
Patrol.
Yeah.
3 and 4
Yes.
are my favorites. I will watch them any day of the week. I actually really enjoy Bobcat Goldthwait's work in those movies. So I'm just
Oh,
telling you.
Oh, I
Bobcats.
do forget
Yeah.
that he's in there.
Yeah, me
Yeah, that's
too.
all right. That lends a little more credence to the whole. Yeah, I never really got that. I mean, I remember like seeing those on HBO like as a child and being like, "Ooh, I shouldn't be watching this," and so I enjoyed it for that. But now, as an adult, I don't know. I haven't attempted to watch a Police Academy movie in 35
here's
years.
Oh, it's been a minute for me too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
here's a little weird trivia. So we all know Steve Gutenberg was the lead in
and
most of those
love.
movies.
I don't and love. Steve
And now who he was great in Veronica
Don't
Mars.
forget that
No
part.
matter what anybody says, he was great in
Absolutely, he
Veronica
was.
Mars.
He
I
was great.
didn't know Gutenberg was in that.
He
Season
was.
2.
Shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Wow. I need to watch that. God damn it. All right.
plays a major character
he
in
does.
second season. Is that right?
Second season,
No
and his
shit.
Yeah,
daughter is played by Kristen Ritter, who was
that is correct. Yeah, one of
No
her
way.
earlier roles. Yeah,
yeah, that was one of her first roles.
Wow.
And she's great, and he's great, and it's exactly what you'd hope for from the Veronica Mars series. It's one long, confusing whodunit. But who was the first female lead in the very first Police Academy movie? Do you guys know?
Deborah
You know,
Winger.
man,
I don't know.
that's a
That's
good
not.
guess.
That is a good guess. You got one?
I don't. I was gonna bring up IMDb again nonchalantly, but I don't want to waste my time.
Sharon Stone was the lead.
No
No
way.
kidding.
Yep.
Really?
That's a
Yeah.
fun fact.
Wow.
Weird.
Yeah, and of course she and Gutenberg had many little street cop babies. I think that is implied. I don't know, but we'll
Yeah,
find.
good for you, Gutenberg.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fake, but whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so we were talking about. I'm so sorry, guys. My head
What
is
were we? I have no idea what we were talking about. I'm still on hello, and it's good to see you guys.
good to
We
see you.
got on this tangent because Tyson was wondering what was happening with his wife, and so
Oh,
I
that's
made
right.
a
Oh, and we talked
Yeah,
neighborhood
about
you're right.
watch
the
You're right.
comment,
30s.
and then we
Uh,
went to the cops. Look at us explaining how we got
no,
from
it's
here to
okay. No,
there.
it's okay. No, it's
Is
it's
this
important to
better
bring
than
it.
talking about the weather? That's my question.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, we can talk about the weather, but I mean, it's hot.
I mean,
God, it's hot, guys. It's
It's
so hot.
certainly hot. And as we were talking about the show, there was like I think I heard on NPR, Tyson heard too, but like something about the water temperature like in the near the beaches in Florida is like 105 plus degrees right now, which is like really hot.
yeah, it's
And
unsafe
like
for hot tub hot.
yeah, like right, like not
So a bunch
refreshing
of
at all.
Floridians are getting boiled right now, just trying to like enjoy
Oh,
themselves.
well, no one said there wasn't an upside, Dawson. Uh, uh,
I do believe that. I believe that many of the fish have gone as far down as they can to try to cool off. So that's probably scared off a bunch of sharks. I imagine. I'm not sure, but
Yeah. And they were talking today, I think in Phoenix or one of those hot places where no one should ever live.
it's a Matt. It's a
God.
dry heat. But,
Right, 118 degrees, and they were saying people were getting third-degree burns walking on concrete.
Oh,
No
Yeah,
way.
yeah, third-degree burns from
Wow.
walking on concrete, which is bad. So, yeah,
I,
it's like this whole thing is like this is like this is just going to be one of those things that this continues to keep getting worse, and we're just going to have to like apologize to the children. Be like, we knew, we tried, sorry.
we didn't believe it. What do you want from us?
Well, some people believed it, but a
Yeah,
lot of people didn't believe it, and
I
it would
mean,
have required like changing and shit, and
yeah.
like
I mean,
you know,
you guys collect Pokemon cards. What the fuck do you want from us? We don't
that's
know
true.
better.
That's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
you should have fixed it. It was your
This
challenge.
is kind of your fault in a way.
Kind of, if you're right, if we frame it correctly, we can. That's actually what we don't. We need to stop worrying about how to save the environment and how to shift the blame onto the next
That's
generation.
right.
Exactly.
This is an
Exactly.
accomplishable goal. We could do it.
That's true.
We
Yep.
can absolutely do it. I have faith.
We
Hand them
could.
a pile of shit and blame them for it.
Absolutely.
I
And
love
then like
that.
the
That's a
blame,
good
the
strategy.
pile of shit, and here's how you made this pile of shit. Uh, pre-birth
What's
somehow.
that girl?
I
Yeah,
don't know.
before you even
Yeah, before
existed,
you. Yeah,
this
I
is
mean,
how this came to be.
what's that Greta? What's her name's Greta Gershwig. The the
Oh,
teenage
what is her name?
environmental
Greta Thunberg or something to
Thunberg.
that
Yes,
effect?
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, Thurnberg. Yeah, third. Oh,
Look,
yes.
all we got to do is put her picture on every piece of currency across the world, and then it's like it was her fault. It was just. I mean, that's who it was, right?
Ooh, freaking Greta.
It'll set you back
I,
a Greta. I like it. I like it. I like it. Like it. As a denomination, I like the Greta.
I
As
do
a
too. Yeah,
I do too.
that'll
That's
be
not, yeah,
Fiverr, a
that
Greta.
works. Yeah.
Yeah.
I need 2K Greta to get this car moving again. So I know. Talk to me. Talk to me about it.
Who says you can't change the world? God
That's
damn it. Uh,
Oh, I am on board. Yes.
Greta.
I
Yeah.
always
Greta.
say I always say this, and I'm sure I've told you guys this before, and I feel bad, but I say I say this under my breath every time I get yelled at for throwing away styrofoam or something that I shouldn't do. And my inner mantra is, this is so bad. Sorry. I do separate my stuff. I do try, but my inner dialogue is always the same. It's like, you know what? Uh, recycling is a young man's game. It's not my game. I'm too set
Nice.
in my ways, and so that's what I
Okay.
think in my brain. Um, and then all of a sudden, we buy a compost thing. So I don't have a lot of control over it. Luckily, my wife cares more about the earth than I do.
I definitely, I'm with B on that. I care about it, but I also live in a small town outside of Denver that cares a little too much about it. Like to
Mm.
the point where if you go to a
Hmm.
coffee shop and you accidentally put your coffee, like cup in the wrong bin. I've gotten yelled at before by
No,
white people, of course. They're like, "Oh yeah, that doesn't go in the comment." Like, "Oh,
Oh,
well, thank
really?
you. Thank you for."
no.
Oh yeah, a couple of times. Yeah.
When they yell at you, is it like helpful, or is it like an undercurrent
It's
of like fuck you, like, or are
It's
you
an
not paying?
undercurrent of "fuck you," and
Okay,
it's always
okay.
a Karen. It's always a Karen who's, like, kind of a hippie, like a hippie Karen, I guess, and yeah, I'm not for it.
I want to know more. Like, how did they approach it? Like, I want to know like what they said to you. Were they like,
Well, one,
ugh,
which I think is hilarious, they were actually, like, taking the paper off of their plastic straw and told me I was putting it in the wrong bin,
Oh
and I'm like,
my.
"Oh,
oh
interesting. You
wow,
Oh
care
wow.
you care a lot, I see." And then the other one, she was a little less bitchy.
they're
I
plastic
still
straw.
I
Yeah,
know,
I like
I
it's like
still
you
have
get to be
beef
like
with that
reverse
woman.
bitchy. It's great. It's
Yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah. The other one was just like trying to wrangle her kids, and I think she needed like to just yell at somebody else besides her kids, you know?
All right,
Yeah,
that's
no,
fair.
yeah, I've
That's
seen
fair.
that.
Yeah,
All
and
right,
I was
yeah,
like,
that's
I
fair.
get it, you know?
Yeah.
And
I,
fuck
I,
you.
I don't actually interact. I don't actually interact with Karens very often. But if some Karen came up to me and said that to me, I'd be like, "Yeah, well, those shoes you're wearing are gonna fill up more landfills than anything else I'm doing right now."
Well,
And
and that's what I was saying. Like Tyson, it would be hilarious if you were like recycling's a young man's game to a Karen, like just
that's
to see the reaction. God,
yeah. Well, feel free to use it. See what happens. Try to videotape
I
it.
will not. I will wait until you guys visit, and then we'll just take Tyson all these fucking hippie Karen coffee shops and
Oh,
wait,
absolutely,
Yeah.
we are, and we're
bait the
gonna
fucking
throw
hook.
all
Uh,
kinds of shit in the wrong bin all day long and see
that
what happens.
that will
That
that
sounds awesome.
yes
Yeah,
that will be our
It'll
first.
be hilarious.
That'll be
I
our
right,
first
promise. It'll be
JabberJaw
entertaining.
presents slash movie. You know, it'll be
right, right.
good.
Culminating with us disposing of a fetus and someone telling us that we've chosen wrong. I'm just guessing. I'm just guessing.
It
you
could
can't
go there. It
you
could go
can't
there.
It could,
you can't you can't dispose of a fetus in the toilet. Think about the fucking sewer system. Like, sorry, it was a toilet
I know it
baby.
says flushable, but they're not. Oh,
Oh,
All
oh,
right.
terrible,
Well,
terrible. Not
there
even
go
half an
all of
hour
our
in yet.
sponsorships. Uh,
That's the nice thing about having no sponsorships, though, is we have
that
no
is the
worries,
nice thing.
no
We're free
accountability.
to be us,
We are
our
free to be us.
authentic
Right,
selves.
right, right,
Yes.
right. Who would we have to be to like endorse like Snapple? I don't know. What kind of people would that make
I don't
us
want to be that
if
person.
we had a Snapple endorsement? I'm not saying I want a Snapple. I don't even know if Snapple's still around. Is Snapple still around?
they are still around. I actually
Okay.
saw something about that the other day because they still do that thing on the caps. You know, like where they have
Oh,
like
they
trivia.
do that with the was it like a
Yeah,
fun fact? Was that what
Oh,
it was?
yeah.
Yeah.
that's nice.
So
I
that's a
haven't gotten a
thing.
Snapple in a minute.
I
Oh
mean,
my
either.
God, it's been a long time. Yeah.
They're fucking full of sugar. You might as well be drinking Kool-Aid. But they
I think they're terrible. There was a guy that the company that I worked with in New York, I won't say which one, but they were close friends with the guy who invented the Snapple lady. And
oh,
he was
you
asking
mean
me,
the
the
marketing?
marketing
Right,
guy.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
right,
yeah, yeah.
right.
And
They
so
didn't
I
give
was
birth
like,
to
If
the
he made
no,
her
no,
in a
no.
garage, like
He made her wasn't there an 80s movie about that or something?
there
Anyway.
was, but it wasn't the Snapple lady.
It was
It
weird
was that
science.
woman that
Kelly
was
it was
Kelly
Kelly LeBrock.
LeBrock. Kelly LeBrock, right? Yeah.
If I
Anyway, this guy's name is Bill Oberlander, and he had us come and talk to one of his advertising classes. He is like, has anybody had a Snapple? Like out of a show of hands or whatever? And like literally nobody raised their hand. The dude got fucking
that's tough, man.
it like led
That's
to this
funny.
whole conversation about what the kids are drinking these days. And I
Now,
That's
what
just felt
year? Now,
bad. I was just
What
like,
year was this? What year was
this
this?
was like 2009 or 10,
yeah,
Okay,
no,
I would
yeah,
say.
Snapple kind of run its course by then.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
like that was.
All those kids are on Four Loco at that point, so
Exactly.
they weren't doing any kind of
Oh my
Snapple.
God. Speaking of Four Loco, one of my friends in New York, Aaron Rockers, I don't know if you listen to this, buddy, but I appreciate what you sent me on the Instagrams. He was sending me what like Four Loco was equivalent to. Do you guys know this? Like one can of Four Loco when it first came out
Right.
was supposedly the equivalent of 4 to 6 beers, one espresso shot, and one Red Bull in one can of
That
Four Loco.
that's brilliant until some people die.
Right.
Which I think they did because they had to like go back and redo the recipe.
They did like they had to get rid of the caffeine, and it wasn't so loco. I think was what it.
It
Yeah,
wasn't so
it
loco.
wasn't so loco anymore. Unfortunately.
I remember
Sad day.
there was a liquor store close to my house in Lawrence, and they still sold them. And I don't know if you've ever seen a Four Logo can. It's the size of a fire
It's
extinguisher. It's
humongous.
crazy. Yeah, and so it's like, yeah, I was like, really? That's amazing.
The only
Well,
time I've ever consumed Four Locos, plural, was when I went to New York and saw
I was gonna say.
Dawson and Glassman and decided to do this. I think this judgment call was made in a convenience store on the way back to your guys' apartment.
We
And I
took
was
you to
like,
the only one where we could get like the
yeah,
real
because
Four
I
Loco.
because I didn't have access to Four Loco wherever I was residing at the time. It was a no go on the Four Loco, and so I was very excited to try it. I selected a couple, I'm sure, outstanding flavor selections,
Oh, the
and
flavors were
decided
terrible.
and because I think I had a flight at like 6:30 a.m. or something.
That
And I
sounds
just
about
wanted to
right too.
stay up, and so I thought the best way to spend that evening was to drink a couple of cans of Four Loco and not go to sleep. I don't remember what happened after that. I remember purchasing the
I
Four
don't
Loco.
remember, but I do remember taking you to that store because we used to go there all the time when we had friends Thanksgiving and get the real Four Locos for our
Yeah,
friends Thanksgiving. And it
for,
was, I
for
mean, a
real.
shit show from there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Why
I
can't
like.
we?
Go ahead, man. Sorry.
No, no. I just thought, why can't we have full strength Four Loco anymore? Like
That's
what?
what
I
I'm
mean, what?
saying.
I mean, this is
We
this is
can't have
America,
anything anymore.
We're
right?
Yeah.
we're consenting adults. We can do whatever the hell we want.
Yeah.
The problem is that
They're taking
under
away our
20.
freedom.
They are. They are.
I like the idea of Four Loco, like like Four Loco brand names, like flavor names. And the first one that popped in my mind was hunting for milfs. Four Loco. And if I found a Four Loco that said that, I wouldn't drink it, but I would put it up in the tacky wing. It would be
I was
very
gonna,
proud
yep,
There you go. Yeah.
exactly. Yep. That would have a place of honor.
of it. All right, fine. A gilf. I'll take anything. I don't care. Uh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
I,
yeah, I actually can honestly say I've never had a Four Loco to be.
that surprises me, Tice. But
Well,
that's
well,
probably a good
well,
thing, actually.
yeah, I was gonna say, wow, that kind of hurts. It's like, that surprises me, Tyson. You never took meth or fucking,
No, okay.
No, but it was like such a cultural, like, I mean, like, what did you drink while
It's
you
a
browsed
cultural
MySpace?
aspect.
Like, right.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like it was just
yeah,
like, that's like, that was the beverage from like,
it is.
It
Yeah,
was a thing.
you're
Yeah.
uh,
right. To be
8
fair,
to 11. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I should have done it. It's
It's like
on.
that and like the synthetic marijuana, the K2. Remember what we were doing? Like, you remember what
Oh,
we were doing 15
God.
years ago? Yeah, we were doing
Yeah.
we were drinking Four Loco and smoking the
Smoking
K2, which is
Fucking
with the
living the
incense.
life.
the
Yeah.
Yeah.
stevia, the future stevia. It was
Uh,
the K2. Uh, yeah. Matt, you remember listening to that guy at the on the floor of the Kansas State Senate when they were talking about legalizing stevia or K2? Do you
I do
remember
remember this. Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah,
this?
yeah. The guy from
Jackson County.
Leavenworth, right? Or
Yeah,
oh
yeah,
no,
yeah.
yeah.
No, yeah. And he was talking to the Senate, and they were broadcasting in our various offices, and he goes, yeah, you guys want to go ahead and ban this K2 stuff? That's fine. Personally, my constituents prefer the real
The
stuff
real
anyway.
thing. Yep, yep,
So I
yep.
don't care what you do because my and nobody laughed except everyone in the offices across
Yes,
the
except for yeah, but nobody laughed. They're just like, ugh.
talking about the best thing ever. Meow.
That's where humor dies. Is the
That's right. Yeah.
Kansas State
Is that where?
Legislature.
Yeah,
It
that sounds
does. If
about
you
right.
need to get rid of it, put it in a box and ship it to your state legislature. Just the comedy dies. Officially, they'll even send you a certificate back.
Ooh, fun.
Matt, do you?
Little known
I
fact.
actually have a blank decree from the Kansas State Senate. Do you know? Did I show this? It's
For
basically what it
real?
is. They print things on these decrees, and so it's a long piece of paper. It's got a golden seal on it. It's like, to whom it may concern, Tyson Dynas kicked ass in the volleyball tournament one year. That was great. Whatever.
It's like
Signed the governor.
stationary. It's like
It's
they
like
have like
Oh,
this
stationery.
that's
official
fun.
letterhead and stuff, and so they like put the official stationery through the printer when like somebody does something important,
Yeah.
or a
Yeah.
volleyball team wins state, or
Or
whatever,
not important, as I recall
or
several times.
not important.
But yeah, I have one of those, and I've been waiting forever to figure out what to put on it. So anyone out there listening, if you have any suggestions,
I love that.
Your Tyson's personal resolution from the Kansas State Legislature?
Be it
hereby
resolved.
decrees. Be it resolved.
Be it resolved that Tyson Dynas once drank an entire gallon of milk and didn't throw up for 15 minutes. I don't know. I mean, anything. It could be anything. I just haven't figured out.
I think you should just make yourself officially the Kansas guy. Like you're just the Kansas guy.
Yeah.
Like they have a state bird. They have a state bird.
That.
You're officially the Kansas guy.
You're officially that guy for the state of Kansas.
That's excellent. I could probably get.
He's into it. He's like,
I could probably.
I can see it. Yeah.
I mean,
the gears are turning.
I'm still friends with the head of the house, or the
Oh, she's still there. Yeah, Susan's still there. Great.
Susan's still there, and Pat's gone, but Susan's still there. I could probably get that.
Could we have some sort of ceremony for this, like fake ceremony, even like on the steps of the Capitol?
I think so, and here's why. Every year on Kansas. Here's why. Every year that I worked at the Kansas State Legislature on January 29th, Kansas Day, someone would make a motion to be recognize it's Kansas Day, and then we would collectively as a whole would sing in the House and the Senate, Home on the Range.
Oh boy.
And everyone would sing it. And then that would be like, all right, gavel out. All right, next business. And then there was no business because it was
what a sweet coming together moment.
It was. I actually thought it was hilarious. One of our bosses from Ireland was there, and he was like, "What the fuck is going on?" He's like, "What kind of back ass water, fucking weird ass state do we do business with?" But whatever. Yeah, I thought it was neat. I think I could probably get that.
And it's charming.
Actually, maybe I'll just frame it with nothing on it. And then I'll just be like, in case of emergency.
That could be a meme. Actually, just take a picture of it. We can have people like write whatever they want on it.
We can turn it into a contest and give away a van or something.
That's a good idea, yeah. And then I'm going to put it in a glass case, or I'm going to frame it, and then right next to it at the bottom I'm going to say, in case of Kansas emergency, break glass.
Perfect. That's perfection. I like that. Yep. That's a great idea.
That's an amazing gift to yourself, Tyson. Like that's such a thoughtful gift to yourself.
Thank you, man. You are.
I do it all the time.
Tacky Wing needs to be a museum for real.
Absolutely.
When Tyson retires.
Oh, that is a great idea. The Tacky Wing. I like that.
Yes, the Tacky Wing.
Things go. America's tackiest objects.
Yeah, I mean,
wow.
If Beth, bless her heart, ever decided to die before me.
Decided to die.
I know, yeah, she's gonna outlive all of us guys, but
that's for sure.
But if for some reason she died, the whole house would become a Tacky Wing. Basically, it would be a museum, and I can't stop that from happening. So thank God she's here. But anyway, that was a little macabre. But macabre?
Macabre? Do you say the herba?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Can now.
Macabre?
Is it macabre?
Macabre, but
Yeah, no, I'm not sure what the rule is, and I'm not going to ask our producers to look it up because I don't give that much of a shit.
I don't either.
Didn't the Faint write a song called "Dance Macabre"?
Macabre, yes, they did.
Let's get those guys on the phone.
The Faint. What are those guys up to? Have they done anything recently?
Not a whole hell of a lot. I'll tell you that.
God damn it, Faint! You know you do some shit and write some songs.
Wait. Who are you talking about?
The Faint.
The Faint.
Like the
band. The Faint just put out a new record like last month.
Did they?
Did they?
Yeah,
I'm brain farting on that.
I'm sure it sucks, but it's out.
I thought maybe we could get him on the show, but all right.
You know what? I know a guy who knows a guy who doesn't know them, so I'll make a phone call.
All right, Tice, figure that out.
My cousin works at Saddle Creek. I think.
That's a
lie. No, that's a lie. That's like,
damn it!
It does. So they did. The new record did come out on Saddle Creek still. So it was.
You know what? That's one of my favorite record companies ever.
They do good. They do good work.
Yeah,
they're in
like
Omaha. So are they Omaha?
Yeah, they're based out of Omaha.
Yeah.
Just some fantastic
They
stuff.
did Bright Eyes. Bright Eyes is kind of going tits up, but that's cool too.
It's not bad.
For a minute. Yeah.
I don't know.
For a minute. I remember Bright
Desper-
Eyes.
Despercitos. That was pretty good.
I did like Desperados.
Despacito is way better. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I feel like Connor Oberst has a little bit of a drug problem.
I think he does based on. But I don't know if you've been reading any of the snippets on Stereo Gum. I think he does have a bit of a drug problem.
A little bit. If
we were to guess what the drug of problem was, what would you?
Too much vitamin B.
Okay.
Yeah, it's got to be something like weird like that.
Yeah. I'm not getting involved in any fucking libel suits here. Too much vitamin B.
This is pure speculation, and if it's not, it's satire. So go ahead and say it. It's fine.
It's true. You know what? This is satire. We've established that.
It is
right.
Yeah,
we can speculate about people's drug problems.
Sure.
I see the criminality in that. I see the fun.
You know what they did? They did. I picked it up earlier this year. They redid Cursive's Domestica album.
Okay.
And they put in this little 7-inch into the record as well, which is like this tiny little side project that he did, and it's fascinating. I'm sorry, not I'm talking about the guy from Cursive, not the other guy.
No, I know you left Connor Oberst in the wind. Yeah,
I left him in the wind, twisting in the wind.
Twisting in the wind.
In the litigious wind. Yes.
To talk about a better band, which I appreciate. Sorry, Connor.
They are a better band, but they are a better band. They are a better band.
I've seen them 4 times, and every time I was like, "Holy shit, these guys are fucking awesome."
Great. Yeah.
I've never seen them. I would love to see Cursive.
I've seen them once at the Grenasty with fan of the podcast, Anna Towns.
Nice.
It was a super fun show.
The last time I saw them, they opened for Alkaline Trio, and it was just a fucking great show.
Wow.
My God.
Yeah, and I think, remember that record? So it was right at Domestica. It was called The Ugly Organ. It was like the one.
Yep.
So I saw them on that tour in Florida, and that was quite good too. So I mean, I've never seen it.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I think Alkaline Trio. Maybe they were touring together. Tice, were they ever touring together?
I saw them at the Granada. Yeah, I saw them.
It was okay. Maybe that was it. Anna, correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like I'm wrong.
You might have been at that show with us, me and Beth. That was Beth's first experience with a mosh pit, and she
did she love it?
No, because she's about she's about yay tall. But like the nice thing was, it wasn't really even a mosh pit. It was just everyone rushed the stage, and then everyone rushed, kind of backed up, and it was like it wasn't so much like a swirling pit mosh as it was like a just kind of push back and forth and back and forth.
See, I like that sort of mosh. The circling around, throwing punches, pushing each other like that. I'm like over it.
Yeah,
there's a time.
I like running around in circles, but I don't want to get punched in the face. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that was fun. But Alkaline Trio fans are so nice, because they're just like, and so we met.
Yeah, because they're all in their like 40s.
Yeah, exactly. We met some kids there, and we met some kids. Oh my God, Matt! The last time I saw Guided by Voices, it was at the Granada, and it was right before they imploded, and they had the original lineup together, and this was, I don't know, 5-6 years ago, 7 maybe.
Okay.
And I was talking to some guy at the bar, and I was like, oh my God. He's like, oh, I'm a big fan, and I was like, oh yeah, and then his first record was like came out in 2006, and I'm like, oh, they're gonna play all the classics. He's like, well, the first record I heard was in 2006, or no, 2006, and I was like, I got nothing for you, man. But anyway, trust me. He's like, they're not playing any songs I know, and I'm like, that they're not going to. Sorry.
They're not going to.
They're playing songs for people as old as me. That's like their whole thing right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that was I felt really bad about hooking that guy up with the information. But I did run into him later, and he said he really liked the show. So meanwhile, sorry.
I've never seen Guided by Voices.
Well, they're amazing.
As I say that, I'm like, have I? No, I don't think I have.
There's 2 distinct lineups. There's the new lineup and the old lineup. I prefer the old lineup. Most people prefer the new lineup now. But and there was one in between lineup that they did for the record with Teenage FBI, which had the drummer from the Breeders, Jim McPherson, was on there.
Okay.
And I mean, he basically put this super group together. So the record with Teenage FBI is the only record they have with this one intermediate band. And
No, was that Isolation Drills? Was
no,
that record?
that was the next one they did.
That was
So
okay. Okay.
Isolation Drills, they lost their drummer and whatever, but they put out so many records it's impossible to keep up. Like they put out a new record Friday, and I'm like, and this is the first record they've ever recorded live to tape, which is interesting.
Oh,
To
interesting.
me.
That is cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take a listen to it. But I mean, they put out 4 records a year. It's thank God they only charge like $18 for an LP because no one would be able to keep up with it.
No shit.
Anyway, sorry. Anybody else want to talk about anything? I'm sorry. I'm just
Bands.
um,
We can get to headlines. You
We
want to do
could
some
get to
headlines?
headlines. Yeah. Actually, just pulled
All
mine
right.
up.
Let me clear my voice. Headlines of the week.
I want somebody else go first.
Sure, I can go.
Or I can go. We can just get my piddly stuff out of the way.
Yeah, no, I got it. I got some stuff for us. Yeah, we'll start here because I'm sure you guys probably were aware of this or had it on your list. So, originally we were going to do this podcast, I think, like Thursday and then Sunday. It moved a little bit, and I was disappointed that I didn't have any stupid Elon Musk news. Well, I wake up this morning, and oh dear Christ!
Oh,
So,
God.
Elon Musk reveals new X logo to replace Twitter's blue bird. So apparently, the plan, here's the plan, is we're going to take a known brand
Right.
that's worth
Let's
not
say
nearly
millions.
$40 billion, but somewhere, and we're just going to take away all the brand recognition and replace the logo with a really cool X. Now, before you guys jump into judgment, I think you need to realize that Elon's, operating on a different. Is he still there?
No, I'm here.
Yeah.
Oh, you
He's
just turned into
he's
a
just
sphere.
chomping on some
It's okay.
stuff.
No,
Yeah.
it's all right. UPS man. Yeah, so
Chewing.
anyway, I don't know. Thoughts? Is it just like they released a big press release where they were talking about like it's the future of everything and
Have
it's
you
going to
seen
be
like the brand guidelines of the new logo? I haven't
oh
like
no
dived into it.
no
No,
I mean,
heard.
do they have it? I would assume they have something or
it's a
some sort of
line
concept
and
to
it's
it.
a box like that and it's an X and
So are we allowed to call it tweeting anymore? Like,
I
are we
don't think
getting rid
so
of the
because the
bird thing
bird right because
completely?
that was why you called it a tweet was because it was a bird and it might have
Right.
been overly simplistic but it made sense. This was just like
So what are we referencing to it? My
I don't know because when
X
right
on X.
right when I see X I think delete.
No,
I
you got.
think delete. And so they should just
Which
call it
is
delete.
actually pretty appropriate.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
really is. So keep up the genius level. I don't know what at this point, maybe he's just like he just is writing it off as a loss, and he's just like, I'm just gonna fuck with it. Like I'm just gonna I'm
I
gonna do
hope
this, and
so.
I hope that's the case.
Because
I'm gonna
otherwise, holy shit.
otherwise it seems ill advised. Yeah.
I kind of hope that he at some point will encourage everyone instead of calling them tweets to call them musks.
Oh,
Oh.
let's hope. Let's
Oh
really
God!
Did you see? Did you see
put the final nail in the coffin?
Arnold Palmer's last Musk? Oh, it's a must read. It's a fucking brilliant. I don't know. I mean, it is. It's. I mean, they built their. You're right, Matt. They built this entire brand. It's become part of the lexicon. People know what you're talking about when you say I tweet or I read this tweet, and now he's just gonna be like, "Fuck it, I don't give a shit."
Because there's nothing like about the technology that's unique or interesting, or it's like anyone can do what so it's like You get rid of the brand. I mean, what's left? And people, and this is something we haven't talked about, but I'll go ahead and mention is was Threads, which is the
Well, and that's
new,
what I was gonna ask. Yeah, is this
yeah,
just like
which is the Instagram, uh, Facebook
Facebook.
equivalent of, which apparently got like 100 million signups the first week. I was going to sign up, and then I realized like I had to create an Instagram account first, which I thought
Oh,
was odd. Yeah,
I didn't realize
so
that.
they are tying it, and actually, Kathy told me, and I didn't didn't believe her at first, but she mentioned that like if you tied your new Threads account to your Instagram account, like you couldn't delete one independently of the other one. So I don't
oh,
know why they're doing some weird shit on the back end of like, and yeah, and apparently that's,
I'm
yeah,
not
absolutely
doing it
true.
yet.
So yeah, so
No.
yeah, so there's but even with that sort of like, reasons not to, a lot of people did. So I don't know. We'll see what happens to, well, I don't know. We can't call it Twitter anymore. We call X,
So
X,
yeah,
the
that I
yeah,
guess
variable.
X.
that's what is that what we're calling it now? X
Guess
for
it
now?
is. I guess it is. I guess
The X zone.
X is just the variable name of the company that Elon will fuck up next. I think that is what it's just like. Oh, Elon did this to X, and so yeah. So, stupid, stupid, stupid. What else do we got? Uh, this one was just so. The writers and Actors Guild strike continues in full fervor. There are lots of shots across. I love like Fran Drescher being like the president of SAG.
Oh, me
He's like,
too. How
like just
funny is
she's
that?
awesome. Like she's just
Oh,
awesome, and
she's
like,
so fired up.
oh god,
Yeah.
she is, and it's awesome. It's like the nanny's not gonna take your shit, Tiger. But no, it's so funny to watch. But uh, the only news I had is this was something that was just gross, and they've since been fined for this. But Universal Studios slammed after trimming trees, giving shade to strikers.
Oh
So
shit.
while they were protesting on the Universal Studios lot, they trimmed the trees. They trimmed all the leaves off, so there'd be no shade for the strikers. So
That's fucked up.
yeah, yeah. So this is, after having like kind of a, like we've had, I don't know, it's been a few days since we talked and just kind of talked about this whole strike. This is just a, I mean, I don't know. It's just a really interesting deal. Like I don't know that it's being promoted as big of a deal as it is, but it just is. It's going to be really interesting to see, because I think we all knew that like streaming services were overspending to a point where it was
Yeah.
unmaintainable. Like we all
Right.
knew
For
that. Like
sure.
we all knew
Yeah.
For
the
sure.
golden age of TV had to end. I just never imagined this would be like the blowout point. Was like they didn't either, right? Like
No, of course
they
not.
didn't think about that either, and it is like it's inescapable, and like it's gonna change some shit, like it
Big
is going
time.
to, yeah. So like they're probably at the end of the day, I'm gonna say they're gonna get a deal, but there's just gonna be a lot less content, I'm guessing. Like there just
I
has to
think
Yeah.
be.
so.
Like
I think you're
I
right.
don't see
Yeah.
any other way out of it. I wish we could continue this freaking ridiculous drunken frenzy of a TV making craze that we've been, like
Agreed.
literally like 9 of the shows on my, these are shows I want for me, have been made in the last decade. So yeah, it's
Yep.
because that's how much money they have. So
Yep.
Yeah.
The Marvel Cinematic Universe. I mean, that's something
there
I've
you go.
wanted since
Big
I was
time. Yep.
5. It's
Yeah,
just crazy. So
yeah,
you're right. Yeah, they're gonna slow it down. It is kind of interesting though because they don't. I mean, I wish the directors hadn't settled. Because they settled before the writers
they,
and the
Oh,
actors.
that's right.
yes, they
Yeah.
did.
Because
Yeah.
they had
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
direct, and so a bunch of shitball movies with no retakes are going to come out in the fall and winter.
Oh, you're right. Yeah,
Because there's no writers to fix any of the plot holes or the
right.
Yeah.
most movies
Because
have
I'm guessing that's because directors were doing pretty a-okay anyway. Like I'm guessing their deal is pretty good.
yeah,
Like, yeah,
I would
Has
think
to
yeah,
be. Yeah.
yeah,
because
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't think that they were expecting this. I don't think the Motion Picture Association or the studios or whatever you want to call them were expecting the actors to join in solidarity. So
Right.
they're gonna have to do something because well, people are gonna be like, oh well, it's a fucking bunch of writers, and while I watch for all the writers and all the television shows. It annoys the shit out of my wife, but no one else does. But
No.
now Ryan Reynolds can't fucking make a cameo on some bullshit, and people are gonna be like, no, So I actually think it's gonna. I don't know. I think they're gonna get a good deal because the longer this plays out, the more money they're gonna lose, and they're gonna lose a lot.
Big time. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
A lot of
Tons
money.
of money. Yeah.
And I mean, the other kind of thought that I had too was that if new content starts, if there's no new content, there's a lot of people that are going to re-up on their Netflix subscriptions, or I mean, you know what I mean? Like if there was stuff that you were looking forward to, so come this fall, it'll be really interesting to see like that impact, and so it's going to be a double problem. It's going to be no new content, and you're going to have declining subscriber base, and these media companies, they've just been having this ridiculous it's just
ridiculous
gross.
time. Like how they didn't foresee some of this shit coming back to hurt them in the long run is just
it absolutely is. Yeah.
Oh my god.
You know You know what that means though? Like in like 2 months, it's going to be there's going to be like 4 BuzzFeed lists every day. It'll be like, what's the best drama you never saw on Netflix? What's the best drama you never saw on fucking Peacock? Like
right? Yeah, revisiting the old hits.
Can't wait. Can't wait.
And I just had a couple more quick one. Kevin Mitnick, famed hacker from the '90s, passed away this week. It's kind of a underreported story that was important to me, but not important to most people.
What did he hack? I'm unfamiliar with him.
I don't actually remember. I think it was in like the mid to late '90s, and he got apprehended for something, and I think he got into some sort of governmental system, but I don't remember. I just know he died, Tyson. That's
that's fair.
I didn't know. I remembered him back in the day. I remember the details, and then just last one. So just the latest from this funness. Trump lashes out at deranged Jack Smith as potential indictment over January 6th looms. So this has happened since we've last talked. Trump was sent basically a letter of, I guess, intent, basically saying, hey, you're a person of interest in a criminal investigation for wanting to overthrow the United States government. And it was signed. And Jack Smith. Love
Jack Smith.
And so a couple of things actually happened this week. This was the first one. And so that indictment, the last time that happened was with obviously the documents case in Florida. And after he received the letter, I think it was like 5 business days before he received the sort of official indictment. So that very well could happen this week. Very exciting. Very exciting.
That is exciting.
To, go to somewhere other than Florida and face charges, which is a beautiful thing. The other interesting thing that happened with our lovely ex-president was the documents case in Florida. The judge ruled that the hearing would occur in May of 2024, which was not in accordance to what Trump wanted. He wanted to delay it until after the election. The funny thing is one of Trump's attorneys promptly replied, "Oh, we can delay it past the election." You're a moron. You're absolutely. You literally just gave away your game plan. So anyway, because he can't find attorneys because he's fucking as shit.
Because he doesn't pay his fucking attorneys.
Exactly.
He doesn't pay. That also is true. He does not pay his attorneys. So anyway, so hopefully, kind of indictment watch this week. We'll wait for the action as it unfolds.
I like that indictment.
I do too. I do too. And yeah, it looks like the documents thing's happening before the election. So a not much bigger conversation to have that we don't want to have right now, but
like
for another time.
If OJ treated his lawyers like Trump does, he'd be dead right now. So
that's a good point. That's a good point.
That's a good point.
That is a good point. Yeah.
So that should only last for a while, everyone.
Yeah. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be again. It's gonna be one hell of a primary season. It's just One last thing, and I just have to mention
Can't
this. I'm not
wait.
even going to look up the article, but my good old chum buddy pal Mike Pence, former Hoosier,
Oh yeah.
may not be able to make the debates in August. I think there's an August because he has
Oh.
not raised enough fundraising money.
But
Because
doesn't God want him to be president? How is that
well,
possible if he's not?
because like Pence wants money from the people who want to hang him, and it's a very weird dichotomy. It's like,
That's
no,
true.
I want to kill you. Give me money.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing. It's not working out for him. So Pence actually might not be able to participate because he hasn't had the minimum donation amount. Uh,
The problem is that God writes checks in those giant checks, that you see at like
huh.
celebrity cost, and Pence's bank just won't cash them. He's like, oh, I need two forms of ID. I know it says it's signed by God, but I can't, I
Actually,
can't.
well, and actually on those, his mother has to endorse them as well. So
That's true.
Oh, that's
I
true.
didn't know if you knew that, but just
And
fun
and
fact.
his mother and or wife, whatever you
And
should
or
be calling,
wife and or,
whatever he's calling her
yeah,
this week.
the lady in the room, as he's
That's
not
right.
Oh,
allowed, the
the
lady in the room.
lady in
Anyway,
the room. Oh boy.
that's my headlines.
Good stuff.
I don't have a lot.
That's all right.
Most of these things are just entertaining to me. So there's this whole deal right now in country music, and this is from the New Yorker. Country music's culture wars and the remaking of Nashville. So there's this guy named Jason Aldean.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and he wrote a song called something along the lines of. Let me see if I can figure it out here. Something along the line of "Not in My Small Town" or something like
You
that.
can't try that in a small town.
Try that in a
It's in a
small
small
town.
town.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is exceedingly racist, and
Did you guys watch the video? The
I haven't
music
watched
video?
the
Not
video
yet.
yet.
No, not yet. I actually had
I
this on
made
my
it 30
headline.
seconds and I was like, I can't. It's pretty bad.
So it's going. So he got a lot of shit for this, and then Jason Isbell, who is kind of is like a liberal
Do
country singer,
do
I
they
guess.
have any other names other than Jason? Is it just
No,
is it
no,
just Jason music?
it's
We just call
Jason.
country music Jason music.
Yeah, that's right. Jason and the
I
Country
love
Nuts.
that.
But like anyway, he wrote a thing. I don't have it pulled up right now, but he was like, because Jason Aldean was defending his song, and whatever, and then Jason Isbell pointed out the fact that he didn't even fucking write it. Four other people
He
wrote it.
didn't write it. Yes.
So he's defending this racist song that he recorded. Um,
That
maybe not.
other
Let's just
racists wrote.
let's call it implied racism. And we'll let the people decide. But
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I was just like, what the shit's going on in country music? Well, it's. I mean, there are definitely a bunch of liberals and a bunch of people that want to, keep the MAGA people happy. So.
Yeah.
I don't know where Darius Rucker sits on this line. I don't know if you guys
Yeah.
know.
Darius, talk to us.
Yeah,
How
I
you
mean,
doing, buddy?
shoot me an email because like
I
somehow
have a feeling that Hootie does not support this in any way, shape,
I
or
don't know,
form.
man. He makes he's a multi-platinum country western singer now. They tried Hootie and the Blowfish one more time, one more record, and he was like, "Fuck it, I'll just sing fucking 90s metal songs and
Interesting.
metal ballads, and then you know put a fiddle and
Right.
a slide
And then
guitar
the
in it."
South can say they have a black friend, and
That's right.
everybody wins. Yeah.
That's
That's
true.
Yeah.
There it is.
Like
Cherry on
Hootie.
top.
I like Hootie.
I like Hootie.
I
Is
like
he?
I like Hootie.
He's my favorite black named, you know, black named bird type creature. Uh, let's see what the fuck else.
Oh,
Uh, okay, so this is like local Kansas news. Sorry, our listener in Ireland. You still listen. I appreciate it. So this headline is from the Kansas City Star. The headline is Judge rules Kansas Highway Patrol, quote, waged war on motorists, unquote, violating constitutional rights. So this is basically what this is about. The practice called the, quote, Kansas two-step, it has a name. The Kansas two-step is a maneuver in which troopers at the end of a traffic stop take a couple of steps toward their patrol car before turning around to initiate a voluntary interaction with the driver. This strategy would buy the patrol extra time to probe for incriminating evidence or information, or to get a dog sniffing. All dogs are dog sniffing, by the way. A drug sniffing dog to the location. So that's called the Kansas two-step, and apparently it is unconstitutional according to the Kansas State uh, Supreme Court. But I love the fact that it's called the Kansas two-step. Anything named after Kansas
As
is
do
fun.
I. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
But apparently what they come up and they'll be like, yeah, did you know you're going 45 mile in a 41 mile an hour zone? Uh, Probably not 41, probably 40. And they go, no. And he goes, well, here's your ticket. And then he goes back to his car. And then he comes back and he's like, so what do you think about them Chiefs? And now he's talking to the guy about the Chiefs. Fucking drug sniffing dog rolls in. And then that's instead of just letting him go.
Oh,
And
that's absolutely that's absolutely it's federally unconstitutional as well. Like that's nuts. Like because I mean the my understanding the regulation was of like for like probable cause or whatever is like they could if they couldn't just like call a drug sniffing dog because they wanted to, like they couldn't delay the stop, like if you had a tail light out for
right,
example, like
right,
they couldn't, like that stop should take like 10 minutes, right? Like either they
right.
give you a warning or they give you a ticket.
There,
They can't
yeah.
take an additional half an hour. Like that's subtle. Well, and I say subtle law now with our constitutional, in the whole Supreme Court thing. Never mind. We're probably fucked. No.
It is. I mean, it is nice to see that the Kansas Supreme Court is way more fair than the United States Supreme Court, according to what I
Well,
can tell.
that's yeah. Well,
Uh,
only it is. They're preemptively less crazy, I guess. I don't know. Like that sounds like was Kobach behind this whole thing? Was he
well,
involved in this
it doesn't
though?
say who was behind what, but there was another lawsuit against the Kansas Highway Patrolman earlier this week, or I guess last week probably, and the the chief of the head of the highway patrolman retired. He was like, no, he was out. So they've been doing some crooked shit for a while,
Yeah, yeah.
and
Yeah. Surprise.
so I mean, one of my favorite things that I heard from my friend I used to work with named Eric is he lived in Palco. Yeah, I think it was no, not Palco. Anyway, he lives somewhere outside of Topeka, and he drove. He was the mayor of this tiny town that was west of Topeka, so he had like a 50-mile drive in every day. And he said one of the things that the cops do is that they put up a sign, and the sign says "drug sniffing dog, next exit," but they put that up about 200 yards before the exit that you're pulling over. You could pull over to this one, so it's like not the
Uh,
following exit, but the next one.
uh. So
So then,
they
so
pull
they could,
off and
so
they
you pull
right.
off early, and then they bust you, and then they do an inspection, right? So this kind of shit's been going on forever,
Yeah.
and now especially the marijuana is legal in Missouri and Colorado. You know,
Yeah.
they got their hands full, doing nothing really. But
Yeah.
anyway,
No, and actually, not to belabor the discussion, but something interesting from your home county of
Trigo.
was Trigo County was they actually got in trouble about 20 years ago because they were doing in the late 90s, early 2000s, they were doing crazy seizures along I-70, and it usually wasn't legal, and so they got a shit ton of money, and they actually got in some trouble. I don't remember if it was a federal investigation but yeah.
Oh, I can tell you that my fucking a classmate, not my classmate, but he was in high school a year younger than I. He got busted trying to sell some of the stuff they picked up on the highway. He was the chief of police, and he got
Whoa.
Oh,
busted. He was trying to sell it to somebody. It turns out they were an undercover agent for the KBI. So he's in prison now. I'm pretty sure.
Wow.
Still,
Yeah. So that shit was true. Yeah.
yeah, no. So and
Wow.
there's
Holy
another thing
crap.
that somebody told me too. One of the highway patrolmen said that they actually they have enough probable cause in their brain or however it works out. I don't remember, but if you drove a hatchback, they could pull you over on suspicion because people with hatchbacks were most likely to be smuggling illegal drugs.
No shit.
So they would pull over cars with hatchbacks.
Yeah. And they, yeah.
And I'm
Ugh.
sure they were right about, 1 out of every 500 times, but still, it's nuts.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and even in I think like probably like the late '90s along I-70, I believe between Topeka and Kansas City, they were doing like random drug searches for a while, which is completely unconstitutional. Like you can't just pull like they would just randomly pull people over and be like, all right, we're searching your car. And so you would peep people with like all their luggage out, and they were just like, and this is before like weed was legal anywhere, or it was just
Yeah.
dicks being dicks, I
yeah,
guess. And
Yep.
yeah, so
yeah, no.
Kansas.
I,
Ah,
Uh,
Kansas.
do we want to sing Home on the Range now? Huh? I feel like
let's
it's
Uh,
time.
let's wait,
feel like it's time.
let's wait a
We'll
few
close
months.
out. We'll close out with Home
We'll
on the
close
Range.
out with it. That's a
Stay
good.
Okay.
tuned, everybody.
That's a good
Yeah.
idea. Yeah.
This,
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
This is this is
Stay
my
tuned.
last headline, and I just saw it right before we started this call. So this is from HuffPost. It says Republicans are throwing temper tantrums over the movie Barbie. Ted Cruz, Charlie Kirk, and Ben Shapiro all had something to say. Now, I haven't seen Barbie. It looks like probably an interesting deconstruction slash entertaining movie. I'm gonna go see it. It looks fun. I may not go see it, but I'm definitely gonna watch it when it comes out. It did make $155 million at the box
Did make
Yeah,
a
office,
lot
it's
of
doing
money.
quite well. Doing
Yeah.
quite well.
so that's pretty good. And so like a lot of people went and saw Oppenheimer and then closed out with Barbie, or some people did it opposite. I don't know what.
Barbenheimer.
Barbenheimer.
That's
That's
what they
that
were
was
doing.
the. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's a whole. I saw a lot of T-shirts at the theater this weekend.
So
My favorite were the Barbenheimers because it's like Barbie, and then there's this giant pink mushroom cloud behind it.
that's awesome. That is awesome. That's a great.
Uh,
I mean, honestly, I don't think it was two different studios that put them out, but they really worked
yeah,
together
but
to
the
try to get
cross
people.
promotional work is like spot on.
Yeah,
Like
it was
Yeah.
that's.
great.
I want more of that. I loved it.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna go over a couple of these little fucking numbnuts said what they're so upset about.
I have a couple as well, Ty. So
Uh,
we'll collaborate on this.
okay. Ben Shapiro, a conservative asshole. I don't have time to read all the shit that he does. On Saturday,
Oh, you can go to YouTube and watch a 47-minute rant about
that's what it
Barbie.
says here.
Yeah.
That's what it says.
Oh my
Complained
God.
Barbie divides men and women, calling it quote flaming garbage and quote woke. He also lit a Barbie and Ken doll on fire to protest the movie. Ginger Gates, wife of Congressman Matt Gates, somehow still married to
Oh
him.
yeah.
Somehow. Uh,
They went to the premiere together, and then
oh,
she like just tore it apart. Yeah.
Did she do like a middle school project about
she
something?
built a diorama, took a picture of
Nope.
it, and posted on Instagram.
Good for her. That's for a
She wrote on
13-year-old girl.
Instagram.
That's her.
She wrote on Instagram the quote Barbie shows Ken with a quote disappointingly low T. That's an interesting way to put it. And so she likes her men full of testosterone and
Just
ready
chock
to
full of
cheat on her in a second.
Exactly.
And then
Across state lines. Yeah.
that's right. That's right. And then the movie gives a quote unfair treatment to a pregnant Barbie midge. I have no idea what that means. She said, the Barbie I grew up with was a representation of limitless possibilities, embracing diverse careers and feminine empowerment. The 2023 Barbie movie, unfortunately, neglects to address any notion of faith or family. No shit.
Oh yeah, the
They're,
Christian values, the lack of Christian values.
they're fucking toys. And you got look.
Apparently, she didn't have her Barbies fucking the Ninja Turtle, so there was a little.
You know what? She would understand it if she'd fuck. You know what? That's bestiality, and it's awesome.
It
Uh,
is. It is, but
It's
I
the
was that's how disgusting I am. I was like, is the scale right? Like, yeah, the scale kind of works. Yeah, kind of
just
works.
imagine Troy Verner fucking like a 7'2" model. Just go there. You can really think about it. Ted
Uh,
Cruz said some dumb shit. This is the dumbest thing
Oh,
he did.
this is my favorite. Go,
Okay,
Tice.
you know
This
what?
is the best.
I'm gonna leave this for you. Okay, you can read, or unless you want me to read it.
No, go for it.
It says
You'll do a better job.
Ted Cruz said that a world map shown in the movie was used by Hollywood to act, quote, as a mouthpiece for the Chinese communists. He told that to Rutgers. Vietnam banned Barbie because the map includes, quote, the so called 9-dash line that is used on Chinese maps to, quote, illustrate China's claims over vast areas of the South China Sea, including swaths of what Vietnam considers to be its continental shelf, where it has been awarded. Okay, I'm just
huh.
stopping it. I'm just gonna say
Yeah,
right
you
now
don't
to
even
say that
right.
he did not write this. Some fucking one of his staff was like, "You want me to say what now?" And so they fucking shit this out on the toilet. And the Warner Brothers said it in a statement that the map was simply a childlike drawing and not intended to make any
It
type of
is,
statement.
and experts have said it too. Like they're like, it's gibberish in a map. Dummy.
And finally,
Oh,
Charlie Kirk, a conservative radio show host who I've never heard of, so I'm sure he's important, criticized the
he's
casting.
the yeah. I know him. Ugh.
He criticized the casting of Harry Neff as one of the Barbies in the film because she is a trans actor. Kirk said Barbie was, quote, trans propaganda that is in hyper feminine, ultra pink propaganda thing, but it's really been taken over the top by the trans mafia. Do not get on the trans mafia's bad side. Just ask Dave Chappelle
You
about that.
really, really
Yeah,
do not
do
want
not
to
do
get
that.
on their
Uh,
bad side now.
he also said that the Barbie trailer was, quote, the most disgusting thing he'd ever seen. So clearly he took the time to watch the movie before he said all this stuff. Anyway, I thought that was fascinating because I guess I didn't expect any backlash other than like critical backlash, but everyone seems to like the movie. So I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Well, Greta Gerwig, who's one of my other favorite directors aside from Wes Anderson, still love you, Wes, but her and Noah Baumbach, another great director, who she is also in a relationship with, they wrote it together and then she directed it, and it's I'm sure phenomenal. Everybody who's seen it loves it.
I'm
Who is
sure
in a
it's
fucking nut bar.
yeah, I'm sure it's actually
Yeah,
quite good. And so I'm
yeah.
looking forward
And
to
I'm
seeing it.
actually, I really want to see it just to see what they kind of did with the tone. Like, I'm so
Yeah,
curious to see what they did. Like, I think that's like,
yeah.
because I know it's good. Like, I know, like, it's not gonna suck. Okay, so that's kind
Right?
of fun.
Yeah,
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
absolutely. Oh, and those are my headlines. Sorry.
Those are good. Both of you guys. I'm just gonna add on to Tyson's HuffPost article and encourage everybody to go to Rolling Stone. They had a really great article about it too, called "The Right Wing Backlash Against Barbie is Hilariously Flopping," and it's really fun. Like the way that they wrote it is really great. It starts off by explaining why conservatives should love Barbie because she's blonde, she's white. I mean, she has
Right.
been white. Let's just be honest
Yeah,
for
She
yeah.
has a show.
many decades.
Yeah, yeah.
She has no reproductive organs, and she married a bland former prom king type who secretly dreams of gay bar life. And then it goes from there. It's
I
fucking
love it.
great.
Yeah.
Everybody should read it. But yeah, it goes over the points that Tyson made. One that I'll say too that uh, little Ginger had mentioned that she doesn't like the anti-man message.
Oh my
Oh
Oh
God,
God.
get over
Yeah.
it.
god.
And then I just have a couple more. I don't know if you guys have seen the Casa Bonita employees releasing lists of demands, but
No, I.
apparently
Wow. No,
Wait, what?
continue. I'm
it's
excited.
pretty bad. I'm not going to get into it because there's so many updates like every day. But local Denver news has been hilarious because like every day it's like the employees have a list of demands, and then management comes out with their own list to like try to sway them from not like revolting. And then it's just back and forth bullshit. All of it, like, I get where the employees are coming from, especially with the tipping thing. Like, they got rid of tips, but they're also not offering like healthcare and benefits. It's a whole weird thing.
Yeah.
That makes me kind of regret being so excited about Trey Parker and Matt Stone
But I think they
taking
were
over.
at one point, I think, and I saw that it's been a minute since I saw this for a month ago. I remember seeing something about they were doing the no tipping thing, but then they were saying that like $30 an hour wasn't acceptable, which I was like, that seems pretty acceptable, kind of,
Yeah, I
for
mean, for that place, that place is
For
yeah,
not.
that place,
That place is
yeah,
right,
not. That's not.
yeah,
I
That's
right,
not.
I
That,
right,
agree.
you
right.
can't.
Yeah,
You can't slack around at that job. You are fucking running the whole
Right,
time.
and that wasn't. I'm
the
not
whole
talking.
time.
I'm not talking cave divers, and I'm talking.
Right. Yeah.
I'm talking the people that throw the sopapillas on your plate and give you some honey, and you
Yeah.
see them 45 minutes later, and like those people wanted their. So yeah, it was kind of a weird deal. Like they seem to really open up. I think this is probably a learning opportunity. Is to maybe not don't open up these negotiations so much as
Big
yet
time. I think
publicly because
that's,
it seems like a
yeah,
bad
the
Yeah.
idea
moral of
because
that
they were
story.
probably trying to be cool, right? Like they were probably trying to
Sure.
be, hey, we're trying to be cool with our employees, and then oh shit,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
they fucked up.
yep,
Yeah, that's
yep,
exactly what it is.
yep.
So we'll see. I'm still excited to go, and
I am
Oh,
too.
me
I am
too.
too.
Me too.
it's going to be
Now,
fantastic.
do they have an opening date yet? I saw that there were like reservation, like waiting list signups, which I think I'm on. But do they have an opening date? I think
They have
originally it
an
was
opening date, I think, in August,
okay.
but the waiting list is like it's long. So
So
um,
basically, we're going to be able to go to Mars before we can go to the new one for Casa
maybe,
Bonita. All right,
maybe
and it
we
may
can
be
probably go
cheaper. It
grab
may
a
be
beer at the brewery right down the street, and then try. We'll
a
see.
dream of
You
Casa
guys
Bonita.
do walk-ins, huh? Yeah.
We brought
Get
our own
laughed out
flag.
of
We brought our own flags. Does that make any
We did.
difference?
Look, more.
and then I just have one more. This is in local Hayes American news. USD 489 debuts new Hayes High School logo.
No way.
Oh,
Uh,
I saw that actually. I
yeah,
think.
yeah.
Wait, what
Have
is
you guys
that?
seen that?
No, what
I
does that
need,
mean?
okay, Smith, just go to Hayes Post and look at the new logo, drink it in. Tice, bring it up too.
I no,
I just want,
I've seen it. What?
what do you think? What are your initial thoughts?
Well, first off, I forgot you were. It was the Indians. I forgot the Florida State were the Indians. So then I was like,
Hayes High Indians.
Hayes.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah,
Hayes High Indians. I had forgotten that's what it was.
yeah.
And then I think it looks fine, I guess. But I mean, they're still called the Indians, right?
Yeah, I thought
Now,
Yes.
that was like so they
and
didn't
they
address
just have
that.
an arrowhead now instead of a thing. Like it's am I right? Are we?
Yes,
Do
it's
we look
just
at
an
this?
air,
Just
yeah,
an
an
arrowhead.
arrowhead. Yeah.
Which is, I guess, that's what the Chiefs have. So I guess that's less offensive than. I don't remember what the old one looked like. I assume it was terrible, but I don't
Uh,
remember. I don't.
I
It
can't
wasn't great.
I can't find it, and I still maintain to this day that the Hayes High School
Here,
should
I'll send it to you.
make its
It's
official mascot the Bierock. They should be the Hayes High Bierocks.
The Hayes High Beer Rocks. Oh my god.
I think that would
That's
be.
genius.
I know, and it's racially it's sensitive. It's a sensitive choice, and I think they should make it. And it's way
Genius. It
cooler.
really
It's
is. It
way cooler than
really,
the
I am
Indians.
behind that
Right, the
5,000%.
fighting Bierox or something. I don't know.
You can even have the Beer Rocks doing like
Exactly. You can
fisticuffs.
like it
Like, there's
makes
just so many things
right.
you could do
There's
with
oh my
it.
god, and
Yeah.
like the memorabilia, just it's they're gonna make a million, and
A
yeah,
million.
a
Oh,
million.
so many Oktoberfest shirts are going to be sold with that logo.
You're
Uh,
right. Though. You're right. Yeah, I'm sure that's correct.
it's just, here's the thing. It's like from a design standpoint, which kind of bothers me because I know the guy who is the art teacher who did it, and I like him, and I love, like, no offense, but you're making a logo from a font that's in italic. Like, what? That's wrong. It just is. Like prop it up a little bit. It just looks slanty for no reason. You know what I mean? Like, I know it's trying to be like emphasize, like, it's a sports team and all the sports teams at Hayes High. I get like the concept probably behind it, but you just don't do that. That's like one of the rules of branding.
Yes.
101. Just saying. Other than that, like the arrowhead where, the line and the H's should be like, that's fine. It's not great. It's not great.
Yeah, it's not. I just got your text. I'm looking at it.
But I will say the comments on the Facebook post of this are fucking gold. Because it's just, assholes versus people trying to make a joke.
Of course.
Versus, it is hilarious.
I'm sure it's
if you
beautiful.
guys have some time this evening, highly recommend going through that.
If you could just screenshot Facebook for me all the time, that'd be wonderful.
There's so many Karens that are just like, here we go again. Somebody's got a problem with the logo. Damn it, like not even like. It's funny.
Do they think this is a woke reaction to?
Yes.
Oh,
well, and some people have legitimate complaints about the design of it,
which is fair.
Like myself,
you're right. Yeah. It's like it's an average, it's not great, but it's not good. But does it accurately represent the educational value of Hayes High School? Absolutely, it probably
probably true. Yeah, that's
probably overstates it a bit.
Sure.
Yeah, so,
overstates it.
So it's probably fine. It's a shitty logo, but it's funny. It's funny that people are like, "Oh my god, they changed the Indian head to." Well.
I mean, yeah. Sorry, people. Get over it. Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
I think we just lost a couple listeners, but I'm gonna stand.
It's okay. No, it's all right. We gotta lose listeners to gain listeners. Is that a thing?
Yeah. Isn't that how it works? Tyson, you tell us. You're in radio.
If we lost any listeners, it would have been 45 minutes ago. So it's like, you look at our runtime. People's attention span is only so long.
We basically guarantee through every discussion we have that we have the listener that we want. I think that's what we try to do. We strive to make sure that you're the listener that we want, and if you were offended, then you're not the listener that we wanted.
That's true. Amen.
Go listen to Joe Rogan or something.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
The Rogans.
We can start talking about murders or some shit.
We could. We're gonna branch off. We did.
JabberJaw murders.
We did talk about what happened to the Austin.
JabberJaw investigates.
Yeah,
we were going to talk about that. We were going to do a murder segment.
I feel like
didn't
they disprove that was just a bunch of?
I think mostly
random.
Yeah.
I think mostly.
I think they disproved
it kind of went nowhere, so it's probably a good thing we didn't do that. We would have let our listeners astray, which I don't want that on my conscience.
Well, I was gonna go to vacation. I was gonna go to vacation in Austin, but I decided JabberJaw saved my life.
JabberJaw told me.
JabberJaw saves.
JabberJaw saves. Oh, we could start our own church. Actually,
that is our shirt. Yeah,
that's the T-shirt.
We have a budding media empire,
and we haven't gotten sued yet. We thought we were going to get sued for a while. Yeah, we haven't got sued yet. So
Okay. Touch mahogany. As the Irish would say. Yeah. Well, you know what? We know some lawyers. It's fine. It's okay.
We do. I know one. Yeah.
I know lots.
I don't know if they'd represent us, but
probably not. No, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I'm cross comparing the list of attorneys that I know versus the ones that would. It's not good.
It's a small list, right? Yeah.
We should. It's a very small list.
We should maybe have that.
You know what? And the attorneys that I know that would represent us, we don't probably want. So
all right, let's just make a pact here. Just if we get sued for some reason, let's all just convince her to go on to Judge Judy or Judge Clarence Brown.
Yes, okay, all right. Yes, I agree. We will agree to arbitration in Judge Judy's courtroom.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then we'll
Absolutely.
get knocked out in 30 minutes. It'll all be done. And I
Absolutely.
think the most she's ever charged anybody is $5 or $10. We'll be all set.
I think it was like a $10,000 limit. So I think we'll be okay. But I
I think
agree
we'll
with
be all
your.
right. We'll be all right.
Yeah, I like this. Like, all conflict resolved in front of
I
Judge
feel
Judy.
better. I feel
I
better
do
about
too. I
what's
don't.
been said.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
I feel
You
less
can,
liable. I don't know.
and
Yeah, a little bit. A
I
little
know
bit
you don't want,
I
less.
I
don't
know
know
you
why.
don't want to, I know you don't want to hear it, but you can thank Roku's constant judge shows. Anyway,
You know what, Tice, this week I'm really going to go for Roku. I want them to sponsor us.
go
That's
for it.
going to be our fake sponsor of the week.
Listen, Roku funded a Weird Al Yankovic movie, which got nominated for Radcliffe, got nominated for Best Actor.
Will we get nominated for a Webby as a result because
Oh,
of this?
is that still a thing?
I think so. I don't know. Making it up as I go. Uh,
I think our work. I think we have a better chance of getting like a grant from a university to further delve into our Nicolas Cage studies than I do
mm,
than
Possibly.
possibly
that's
getting than possibly getting. You know,
that's fair. That is a good
uh,
point. Yes,
I don't
which
know.
I would be into. I would
I
be
mean, do
into.
you guys really want a fucking blue mattress or whatever the fuck they gave the people? You know, purple mattress. That's what they're called. Purple mattress.
I would look nice in the tacky wing. That's all I'm saying. All right, let's do some plugs. Look,
We should
as
probably do
Tyson
some
looks
blocks.
for room.
Yeah, I was like, you can put it on the ceiling.
You, the ice cream manufacturer. You, the frozen food distributor. And you, the food retailer. Stand today in the midst of a selling revolution. For today, you're in a merchandising era of self-service, where display and accessibility are the key to successful merchandising. Yes, today's problem is merchandising. To sell in high volume for high profits, frozen products are impulse items, and impulse buying is primarily an emotional decision.
Okay, so not a lot from me this week, even though I've been watching. I've been watching a lot of shows like Buying the Bayou or Buying Alaska or Buying Colorado. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? This is where
Is this
No.
on Discovery Plus? One of
yeah,
those.
yeah,
Yeah.
like what they do is they take a couple like a guy or usually a young couple or an old couple or a guy and his roommate, or a girl and her roommate, and then they go out and then they go to someplace like they have a budget of X amount of dollars and they either want to. There's like six of them. There's like Buying Alaska, Buying the Bayou, Buying the Rockies, Buying Hawaii, and then a realtor takes them to three different houses or sometimes like condos or whatever they can afford, and and then you get to watch these people basically have a fight over who's going to pick what based on
Hmm.
in the budget. And then at the end of the day, you can always see who wears the pants in the relationship because it just makes me laugh. Anyway, I'm not here to plug any of that shit because it's ridiculous and you shouldn't watch it unless you're on pain meds and you can't move around. What I would say is worth watching is that I finally watched season 3 of Aquafina is Nora from Queens, which is on
Ah,
which is
yes.
on formerly HBO Max, now just called Max. It's a short season. I think it's like 7 episodes long. It was very meta. It was very good, and I really enjoyed it. I watched this show called School Spirits, which is on Paramount Plus,
Okay.
and it's about a high school student who dies. She doesn't remember dying, but she suddenly finds that there's a group, sort of like a like a group of other ghosts there to sort of protect them and or like share feelings with or whatever. It's like group therapy for dead teenagers, uh,
Hmm.
and basically what I would call this genre is my name for this genre is not Veronica Mars because it tries. There's so many red herrings and
Hmm.
it's okay, but it's just the payoff is just like. So anyway, I mean, every episode has two new red herrings. It's almost too much, And at least Veronica Mars would do a one and done every once in a while. So that's not a plug. It's not an unplug. If you're bored, you should watch it, I suppose. But I suppose when all the new content just grinds to a halt in about a week, it's worth watching. Um, and then I've only seen I'm on episode 4 of this show called Yellow Jackets, which I know Dawson has promoted previously on Paramount Plus, and I must say that I was really trying to get my wife to watch it, and after the first episode, I was like, nope, she could not handle this show, because it's good and it's brutal. So anyway, I'm excited. There's 2 full seasons up on Paramount Plus. I have no idea where the story is going. It's really interesting. So
I'm so
maybe
glad you're liking it. It's so fucking good.
it is, and I would say it takes place in 2 different times: current day and 1996. So the soundtrack is practically curated by myself. I was, it's it's amazing. Like one of the very first songs they play is a Liz Phair song, not from her first album, but from her second album, Supernova. And I was like, holy shit, they're playing the one that no one else knows. So anyway, yeah, I've been enjoying that very much. And again, so much Antiques Roadshow. So I can't even I can't I can't I can't even tell you how much I've seen some of the episodes 4 times already, and I think I'll be good when I go to an auction next time. So anyway, those are my plugs. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
And where are you streaming all of this content, Tice?
The
What is it called
Roku,
again?
the Roku.
Yes.
Just
Okay.
go to their live. Go to their live Roku channels. There's over 1,000 of them, and
Okay.
and you will find you'll find something you want to watch, and you'll find a bunch of stuff you don't want to watch. There is a channel that is called Nosy, and all the channel that Nosy is just Jerry Springer episodes, uh, and any spinoff from Jerry Springer episodes. So
Very good.
Can't say no to that.
yeah,
Smith?
that is no fun to watch by yourself though. You have to have a good buddy to watch it with you.
That's like party material.
It is, yeah. So,
Yeah.
Matt Smith.
Matt Smith. I will give you. I actually have no plugs this week, but I have
What?
I have an unplug and a correction.
Oh shit. Okay.
I've not done a correction before,
Wow.
but I feel that I need to.
Welcome to my world.
This has been weighing heavy. So I think a couple episodes back, I brought up my plug for The Crowded Room on Apple Plus, which is. And I, at the time, said that I did not think that Amanda Seyfried's performance was all that good. And I have since changed my mind somewhat. So it's not a full retraction, but I think that have you watched the series, Dawson? Have you gotten to do it yet?
I still only got through like halfway through the first episode. I
Okay,
need
so
to
you're
probably
still
revisit that.
Yeah, you got a lot to go. So anyway, just a subtle retraction. I think her performance is fine. I'm going from bad to fine. So I thought it was important to bring to our viewers' attention. I feel better.
It depresses me because she's so fucking good.
She's really good. No, and I think like it'll make sense to you. I think like after like episode 4 and then going into 5, like some things change, some dynamics change, and it the story limited her ability to do more, I guess is the best explanation I have. So anyway, sorry Amanda, sorry if you heard that.
Sorry, girl.
I highly doubt it. Highly doubt it. And my unplug for this week is I don't know if you guys have had the misfortune of hearing this yet or not, but the band Fall Out Boy did a cover of We Didn't Start the Fire.
Oh yeah, I heard about
that. Updated with sort of, I think it was 1989 to, I don't know, current day.
Ugh.
It's fucking terrible.
Yikes.
It's awful. I highly recommend you listen to it so you can agree with me. It's bad, but I think you should listen to it because they just like so. Here's my main issue. So at least my man Billy, like he like would at least like arrange like incidents in like a time period, right? And so like each verse was like a time period, like events that occurred. They just chose like random shit that happened, and it's like it's just stupid and it's awful. And I know that like Fall Out Boy like means like they're like
They mean well.
they mean well, right? That's exactly what I'm getting at. Is like they're not great, but they did keep rock alive for longer than it probably would have otherwise. So I kind of like Fall Out. I don't know, but anyway, not a good song. But you should listen to it. That's my point. And rewrite it because it's awful.
And rewrite it.
And rewrite it. It's awful. And rewrite it.
Oh, I'm gonna listen to that tonight.
It's not. It's on YouTube. It's on the tubes. It's on the YouTubes for free. You don't have to pay a dime to listen.
Thank God.
It's really bad. I think you're gonna agree with me. I think next time we talk about this, we're gonna be like,
boy.
"Oh my God, that was really shitty."
I brace myself.
I'm legit excited. So
it only take like 3.5 minutes, and it'll brighten your day.
They put out two. I read they put out two covers, and they both went to the top of the charts.
Oh God, really?
Yeah, both of them. So I don't know what the other one was, but anyway, sorry.
Good God.
That's it. I had no recommendations.
All right, that's fine. I have quite a few.
I will next week. I promise.
All right, better.
better.
So I promised my mom that I would not see Barbie without her. And I'm going to visit them in September. So, Mom, I'm publicly stating this now, and you can throw this show back in my face if I happen to watch it before I visit. So, anyway, but because I'm not watching Barbie, and there's all this Greta Gerwig hype, I am rewatching all of her movies. And the first one that I dove into this last weekend was Frances Ha, which was one of my all-time favorite movies ever. She did not direct it, but she co-wrote it with her boo, Noah Baumbach. It's brilliant. I love it. It's beautiful. It's shot in black and white. It's a great story about a woman in New York who like finds herself finally, and like it's all about love and friendship, and fucking love it. It's one of the best movies ever. So check that out. And then I did see Oppenheimer this weekend.
Oh, you did? Oh.
Yeah. That was something else. It's amazing. You guys have to see it in the theater. We did not see it in IMAX. We saw it at Alamo Drafthouse. But even seeing it in a regular theater, our seats shook at like many points during it. Like the senses that you feel throughout the film are just crazy pants,
we actually,
as Tyson would say.
We have tickets to see it on August 1st at our IMAX, our History Museum has an IMAX. Okay. And apparently there are, like, the Indy Star actually posted an article about this. Apparently there's like only like 18 IMAX theaters in the country. There's 30 nationwide, but there's 18 domestically that have the film. And so it's sold out like crazy. Like people are driving from Ohio, and it's like, it's a cool deal. Like, it's an old school, like, nerd film thing deal. Like, it's cool. Like, it's fair. They said, like, the projector that they're showing it on is, like, 25 years old. Like, that's the only one that it's compatible with. It's the only one that's compatible with. And I actually saw, like, something on YouTube about it where they actually, like, control it, like, part of it via a Palm Pilot, because the technology is so old that, like, a Palm Pilot. Yeah, so it's pretty crazy. We got tickets. We're going August 1st in the afternoon. And like we're lucky to get like not front row seats at the IMAX, because that's a lot.
I would say so.
I'm super pumped, so I can't wait to talk about the film.
I'll hold off on other thoughts and feels. But you're gonna enjoy it.
Oh, excellent! No, I'm
Tice,
excited.
do you guys have tickets? What's the story? Where is this?
We're gonna go see it. I mean, I just don't know when, but hopefully this week sometime we'll go see it.
Is there an IMAX in Kansas City? Was that one of the?
There are several IMAX, but I think the only true IMAX, as in like with the camera, like that Matt was talking about, is at the AMC headquarters, which is where we would go and see it anyway.
I think that's right. Yeah.
because AMC started in Kansas City, so they have kind of a premier place that we usually go to see films at. So I think it's
Nice.
that one. So hopefully that'll be the same. If not, we'll see it in Dolby Vision. So
Excellent. Oh my god, I can't wait. I can't wait to talk about it. It's so fucking good. And then I watched a documentary on Apple Plus, which I've been putting off for a very long time, called Still, Michael J. Fox story.
Oh yeah, that's on my list. How was it?
I thought it was going to be way more brutal than it is.
Okay. That's actually why I haven't watched it, because I'm like, okay, this is just going to be sad for like 2 hours. So,
and that's why I was doing, like, literally, I was just like, I don't know if I'm ever going to be in the right mental state to watch this. But then I had a couple tequilas after drinking beers all day at my draft house. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. We're gonna watch it. And I love him even more than I did before.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
And his family, God, the support system that he has in place with all of the bullshit that's been handed to him, like, it's pretty amazing. It's really just a beautiful story, and he's just a phenomenal guy. So I would check that out. And then Tyson, I finally saw Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 last night.
Oh, yeah?
Holy shit. It's my favorite Guardians movie, hands down.
It's very good.
Jonas and I both were like, why did we not see that in the theater? So fucking good.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Yeah. I'm glad you liked it. Yeah, no, it was a really good movie.
Where does it rank for you? Do you still love like the first one the best, or?
Well, they're just different kinds of movies. Like all three of them are different kinds of movies. I will say the emotional gut punch is the third one for sure. And also, like and it's not really for little kids, especially with that animal stuff.
It is not. No way.
But yeah, we were big fans of it. So yeah, I would probably edge out the first one just because they do such a good job introducing characters and all that stuff. Second one's fun. Third one's like, all right, let's wrap this up and make a thing out of it. So yeah. So I was very impressed with it. Did you see Mission Impossible? This is what I'm curious about, because you.
Speaking of,
because I don't
unplugs.
Oh yeah, because I was like, I don't, you guys both know I won't go pay to see Tom Cruise in a movie theater.
I know,
except for
I know
Top
Smith.
Gun.
I feel like is in that category too.
It's not really anything against Tom Cruise. I've never seen a Mission Impossible movie. I just haven't seen any of them. So it's
which I like a lot of them, honestly. Like, and I hadn't seen any of them, to be honest, until Jonas and I got together, because he really likes them. So we went and saw Oppenheimer first, and then we were a bit shell shocked and just like talking about the movie afterwards.
Right.
And in between, and then we saw Mission Impossible. It is not good. Like, the more I think about it, the more I'm just like, holy shit.
Really?
I mean, yeah, you know how there's always that moment that they lead up to with like Tom Cruise's big fucking stunt.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, every time.
Big letdown.
Can you believe Tom Cruise did his own stunt in Mission Impossible X? Yes.
Yeah, and it's crazy what he does, but the way that they filmed it, it looks fake, like really fake.
Really,
and the story is not good. All of it not great. Like the editing, the sound was like. And again, we went from Oppenheimer, Chris Nolan, to this. That's I should probably scratch that. But there's no comparison at all.
Right.
Just like Jonas almost wrote on the ticket, because you know how you can like write like, hey, I need another drink or some more food or whatever, and then they come. He almost wrote like, can you turn the volume up, because the sound was just so bad.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was not a great experience. And Tom's actually showing his age, everybody. Scientology is not working.
I always thought it was funny. I don't know if you guys remember this, but the tagline for the original Superman movie with Christopher Reeves was "You'll believe a man can fly," and I always think that every Tom Cruise movie, every tagline should be "You'll believe that Tom Cruise wants to die," because that's what it looks like every time he does a goddamn.
That is true.
Yeah.
I mean, he's his own Hollywood martyr. It makes no sense to me whatsoever. Like,
Yeah.
But whatever. Well,
Whatever.
that's too bad. I did see Top Gun 2 in the theater.
I did, as did
I knew
I.
I wasn't going to be able to get it out of that, and it was great.
Top
So
Gun was fantastic. Like
no
that.
complaints. But
Yeah.
I did see the last Mission Impossible movie in the theater because I was up in Michigan and I didn't have any friends or anything. So I saw it and it was just like, this sucks. I think so. If the new one's worse, that's not a good sign.
No,
But
it's not.
oh well.
Sorry, Tom.
Sorry,
Don't
Tommy.
send
Sorry,
the
Tom.
Scientology gods on me. And then my other unplug is mosquitoes. I just got attacked by 3 last night. I'm unhappy about it. Wanted
I'm
to bitch
sorry.
about it on the podcast, so there it is.
You know what? I got my first mosquito bite last night.
Of the season
Of
or
the
ever?
Of the season.
Yeah.
of the
So
season.
yeah.
You got that sweet blood too, Tyson.
I guess
Smith,
so.
do they like you or no?
Oh, they do. They love the they do. They do. They like
Yeah.
my ankles especially. Yeah, they like the
Yeah.
ankles.
I forgot to Matt. We bought one of those things that Matt uses to burn off the thing. I should use that.
Yeah, you should try it. It actually is
Can you
quite
send
effective.
that to me again? Because I was like trying to scroll through our fucking
Oh
text
yeah,
and I couldn't
I'll
find
have to
it.
I'll
Yeah.
have to find it. It's in my little overnight bag. But
It's
little
like $10
mosquito.
and it actually works great. To be honest with you,
I
worked
mean,
really
I'm
good.
like, I don't know if you can like see that. It
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
look too bad, but like they're all. There's one that got
Yeah.
pretty red. Yeah, it's just bad.
Yeah.
I got a
Not happy.
grape on my ass right here.
There we
Tyson,
go.
I
Oh,
knew
here
that
we
was
go.
coming.
Oh,
All right.
here we go.
That's for everybody who stayed around for the
That's
very
right.
Showing
Just
for
went
subscribers,
NC-17,
like always.
everybody.
Oh,
Ozzy
absolutely.
Osbourne, eat your heart out. All right, well, that was fun.
Seems like a good place to end the
That's fun.
podcast.
It does seem to end the podcast. Yes.
Oh,
Just the
the
suspense. We'll
end
leave
of
them.
Tyson is the end of the show. So
Exactly.
there we are.
Leave them wanting more. I
Tyson's-
think because we want to
Wait,
leave them.
wait,
wanting more.
hold on. Tyson's end was the end of the show.
There we go.
There we
That's
are.
the end
Yes,
was
thank
the-
you. Yes, that makes sense. Smith, get those lawyers ready. Tice, always.
Will do.
All right.
Always
All
a pleasure, gentlemen.
All
All
Okay.
right. Absolutely. All right.
All right. Bye. Thanks
Bye,
for listening.
Bye.
Oh.
Oh.